start the day off with a great ritual. It's a good morning. We're gonna go ahead and smoke one of my favorite cigars. Now it's important that you light one of these properly. Typically what they say is you take the lighter, kind of go around the ring, and you slowly roast it. What we're gonna do though, is we're actually gonna go ahead and do something special. We're gonna go ahead and take good old Benjamin Franklin here. Kind of look at you with disappointment as you do this. You're gonna go ahead and roll them up. This, by the way, this is the only way to light a cigar. I'm just throwing it out there. Just imparts the flavor of money. So what you want to do is you want to roll them up just like that. And take your lighter, and you're just gonna light them on fire and do the same thing you would with a lighter once this is lit, but on the cigar.
Wait, don't do that.
What?
Don't
Why?
do that. That's your last $100 bill.
What are you talking about? I got plenty of money. Let's check this out. Last $100 bill. It's literally impossible. Down 40%. They've suspended my dividends. There's no more money coming in. That's not possible. We're good, ladies and gentlemen. We're good. Hold up. Beep boop bop boop beep. Hey, broker. Hey. So I'm looking at my app. I just want you guys to be able to clear this up for me. So I'm looking at my account. It says I'm down 40%. I thought this whole thing was just it was just a little bump in the road. Like, you know, we were supposed to go back up. Market always goes up. Wait, huh? And then the bull market. The stocks aren't going back up? What? Everybody's selling. Things are shutting down? But I mean, I'm still gonna get my dividend check every quarter, right? No? That's an issue. All right, folks. This calls for a change of strategy. We're back. All right, so now we're shifting gears here. It's the end of the bull market. Yes, we're officially in a bear market. Now, that doesn't mean that all hope is gone. Doesn't mean the sky's falling. This just means we're transitioning. This is time for war. That's why I got my camo on. That's why we got these lines. It says we mean business. Now, there's a lot of things that people are wondering. This issue with the pandemic and the coronavirus, it's affecting a lot of industries. I personally at first thought that, you know, this was going to be like a 2-3 week thing. I was wrong. We're looking at a much bigger timeline now. We're looking at a lot of businesses shutting down. We're looking at our economy coming to an absolute halt. And in the midst of this, a lot of people are losing their jobs. A lot of people aren't going to be able to pay for the things that they own, their rent. We're going to see a lot of big repercussions coming in the forms of possible credit crunches. And at the end of the day, possibly, they're talking about a government bailout. Now, what we want to keep sight of, though, is this is the time to invest. I know everybody always says, hey, now's a good time to invest. Now's the right time to jump in the market. I mean, there's never a bad time to jump in the market. And by that, I mean, how many of your friends say, oh, if 2008 happened all over again, I'd be riding that to the top? Or how many people said, oh, if the Great Depression was here, I'd be rich? Well, you know, we're seeing a small glimpse of this, of that time period where people say the market's just so low, I would put all my money into it. And people aren't doing that. What we see is a lot of fear. Now, I'm not saying, hey, go take all the money you have, go dump it. No, what you want to do in times like this is you want to invest in waves and put your money in slowly. Nobody knows when the bottom of the market is going to be. We could be at the very tip of this. But what I do know is that if you look at a course of history, you almost always see things go down and then slowly trend back up. Even during the worst financial crises we've ever had, whether it be '08, whether it be in the '80s, whether it be the Great Depression, you go through rough times, but it creates a lot of opportunity. Now, just because I give this quick little disclosure here, that past results are not indicative of future performance, but that being said, you're seeing a lot of opportunity. I don't care if you have $1,000 a month to invest. If you're spending your frap money and putting your $5 instead of buying Frappuccino and putting it in the market, I recommend this is the time where you want to be putting money in. You want to be going into your 401k, making sure meeting the minimum or the maximum criteria for your employer's contribution. You want to be putting money into a Roth account. You want to be investing. And as everybody is panicking, everybody's selling, you want to basically start slowly buying in. And this is the time where you want to be putting money in, and you want to be putting it in slowly. But to quote Warren Buffett, you want to be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. Just 3 weeks ago, the bull market was never going to end. The Dow was going to hit 30,000. There was nothing that could stop this. And then we have a black swan moment, and everything changes. And we want to make sure that you're doing everything you can to set yourself up for the best possible position going into the future. And hey, I get it. A lot of people aren't there. A lot of people, they got caught in a whirlwind. Some people were out of jobs. Some people were spending money like it was never going to end because everybody was making money. And that tends to be the trend that we see always happen. And, sooner or later you get caught with your pants down and you're like, hey, oh crap, like I'm in a bad situation. It's always a good idea, especially when things are really, really high, to never overlook having good cash reserves, but it's never too late to jump in. I would recommend just putting in a couple dollars into the market and whatever you can, setting money aside and investing in your future. Because at the end of the day, we're probably going to look back at this and be like, hey, if this moment could happen all over again, I'd be throwing my money at it. And at the end of the day, like, that's what everybody always says. You have to take initiative. You have to have the stomach for it. And, in the midst of facing massive losses, you just gotta keep investing. Invest smartly. Don't just dump your money in. That's not what I'm saying. If you don't know what you're doing, go get an index fund. Something like S&P 500, blue chip stocks. Just something that diversifies you. But I mean, just as an example, I was heavily invested in energy prior to this whole thing. I mean, some of those energy stocks are down 60%. But instead of selling, I'm strategically thinking through now the companies that I'm buying that are going to be in the best position to come out of this. But you gotta keep investing and never stop. It doesn't really matter how bad things look. So sure, we're at the end of the bull market. We're in a bear market. I don't know how long this is gonna last. Could be a couple months, could be 6, could be a year, could be a couple years. But this creates a unique window and opportunity that doesn't come around too often. They always say the trend is your friend, and a lot of people follow the waves, and as people are buying in, they keep buying in, and they buy high, and sometimes you make money because the trend is going up, and as long as that keeps going up, you're fine. But it's moments like this that give you a good moment to look at companies that are actually reasonably valued, and you're not just buying because everybody else is buying and because everything's going up and everything's sky high. You're actually able to look at companies that present actual value for you. So that's just my little take on this. I don't know how long this is going to last. It's something that I haven't seen anything like this since I was in high school back in 2008. But it's definitely something that you're going to want to take a look at. Really take a deep breath and just stay calm and keep investing. This will all pass one day. We'll look back at this and you'll wish you had taken the time to invest. So this is Savior Investments. This is my little video for you guys. Just my personal take on the market. Not a professional financial advisor. Never take information from people who wear camo sitting in their basement. But hey, my thoughts.